Today, I like to speak about a topic with the title Curated Self, Choreographed Life. I am a great admirer of the new information communication technologies, and my research interest is to look into the cultural, social, and religious implications of the new media. Immense are the possibilities offered by the digital media and the internet for self expression. Digital media offers unprecedented opportunity to become present ubiquitously through our images and sounds. It's so impressive that images are slowly replacing words, and legitimately so. Social media has come as a great gift of God in our lives to make possible a global presence. It helps us to be in touch with all our dear and near ones and to interact virtually with anyone with an internet connection. These pandemic times and the lockdown and quarantine periods were easily served by all of us with the help of the digital communication tools and technologies. This talk itself comes to you by these technologies. While the same social media is helping a lot in social interaction, it is in a quiet, unnoticed manner, leading also to a disintegration of the self. Computer promises us that what you see is what you get. It's not true in real life. We see advertisements for products on large billboards, glossy magazine pages, and in front of restaurants and shops. In most cases, the product we get is only an approximation of the image projected. Just look at the menu items on your display boards and what you get on your plates in a restaurant. The gap between what is shown, what you get in real life, is unfortunately considered acceptable by sheer occurrence. The question of integrity is bracketed here, and that is considered as okay. This situation becomes problematic when the paradigm from the product level is copied to the personal level in the social media. The untold dictum here becomes what you show is what you are. Or in other words, you are what you show yourself to be. Here, there's a problem of integrity. According to me, the virtue of integrity suffers most in the current scenario of mediated communication vis-a-vis face-to-face communication. There is a disintegration of the self due to the lack of sync between what is shown and the real self. If seeing is believing in our earlier times, what is seen today is no more always true in the present era. Social media, no doubt, is a realm of manufactured social identities. Such carefully constructed social identities are called the curated self, an idea initiated by Jeremy Garner in a blog in 2012. Originally, it meant to select, organize, and lay out items in a collection, particularly in a museum or an exhibition. With the coming of the internet, curated content refers to the selection, organization, and presentation of news and other information or products and services on a website. And in social media, curated self is more about how we present our lives for others to see via Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, or Twitter. It's made up of photos, videos, status updates, tweets, blogs, comments, likes, shares, texts, which define one's social media presence. In other words, it's a carefully selected, edited, sanitized, and filtered version of one's life. Considering the power of images, these virtual selves become the representation of the person. In fact, this process of curating personal appearance or surroundings for others to view is nothing new. Humans have always done the like of tidying up their house for the guests or painting the house for the feast, even selecting the artifacts to display on shelves, furnishing and the furniture. It's part of culture and is really a sign of a cultured person. And as such, it is a good discipline and practice, although it could sometimes end up in unhealthy competition between neighbors, colleagues, contemporaries to look better than others. Social expectations have always influenced personal choices, appearance, or self-presentation. But with the coming of the new public sphere of the media and the invasion of the personal spaces by the social media, there is an amplified need for curating one's public presence in a socially acceptable and admirable way to get likes and to boost share and reach. This leads to stereotyping, aping, chasing the latest fashion, and even faking emotions and feelings, as well as shaping our body and face. This gives rise to problems that shade or dim the advantages of the social media. First of all, by selectively presenting self through selfies, props, companions, places, media choices, food choices, one begins to chase an unreal life in an effort to look good. This relentless effort to present the best version of oneself without faults and failings and with the intention to get clicks and likes renders one oblivious to one's faults and failings. Thus, one fails to acknowledge and address the area for improvement. Likewise, disappointment and discontent originate looking at others' curated images and their social media content. The biggest danger is the unconscious need to measure up to one's image and leading to utter dislike of self and internally even berating oneself. When it becomes an obsession, it can be detrimental to physical and mental health, and sometimes hazardous to one's own life, like in the cases where people fall from the cliffs in an effort to get the best selfies. At certain point, the virtual identities merge into or overlap our real identities or lead to an amnesia of who we really are. So we are faced with an unprecedented situation of altered identities and unreal self-presentation, which has a lot of consequences in personal and social life. Secondly, the curated self is, to a large extent, controlled and even manipulated by others, especially by commercial and vested interests. Online media already influence our choices and tastes through curated content, pre-targeted on the basis of a meticulous analysis of the content frequented by us online in our everyday searches, reads, and views. Brands and even news websites and browsers are so programmed to bring one content that suits one's interests, tastes, inclination, and needs. Thereby, one's choices are limited and one is changed to one's own world. The World Wide Web is not as free and open source of information as it is believed to be. Google searches bring you content curated country-wise as well as per algorithms that determine your interests, tastes, social and political leanings. you are dancing to somebody's music. Your life is choreographed online. Thirdly, too much craving for setting everything on display has also robbed us of our personal living space, our private activities, blurring the margin between private and the public sphere. In the current always on social media scenario, everyone is setting up a carefully curated display, reducing self into a product on display. This can lead to a loss of self and even the motivation to deeper and serious pursuits in life. Many just become good-looking bodies deprived of soul and spirit because only the visible exists in the world of the spectacle and show, all at the cost of self-esteem and self-growth. In conclusion, we can say that these challenges have a negative impact on authentic human development and growth. Answering only to the jury or the public opinion can reduce one's life to unending show or parade of the desired self to the detriment of the real self. I am reminded of the biblical saying, "For what will it profit a man if he gains the whole world and forfeits his self or life? Or what will a man give in exchange for his life?" Constant exchange of authentic self and virtuous life for a voyeuristic pursuit of looking good and going viral in the momentary stardom of the social media stage leaves people with nothing substantial at the spirit and soul level. By repeatedly mirroring an image of a projected self, one fails to have a realistic self-identity, without which even small setbacks can ruin one's passion for life. It's near impossible to be real self online. For that, one needs alternative spaces and communities in real life to develop a strong sense of self-identity, to survive and to flourish in our times. Without introspection and silence, private moments and spaces, one cannot grow and flourish today, without which one may be reduced to show and display, draining of growth of its essence, namely self-realization. Yet, it's of utmost importance to cultivate self-awareness and a realistic image of oneself to be real even in the cyberspace. It takes courage to go beyond the curated self and the choreographed living. Thank you.